हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू सिफ्टेक सिम्प्लीफाइड। मेरा नाम इंजीनियर इमरान अजीज है और मैं आपको अपने चैनल पे खुशामदीद कहता हूं। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल पार्ट 5 में आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे 25 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन विच आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द गेट एग्जाम, एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ जॉब इंटरव्यूज और जॉब टेस्ट्स। सो हमारे साथ रहिए, वीडियो को मुकम्मल देखिए। इसमें हम क्वेश्चन नंबर 76 से लेकर 100 तक आपके साथ शेयर करने वाले हैं। सो वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और सिफ्टेक सिम्प्लीफाइड को जरूर सब्सक्राइब करें। लेट मी शेयर माई स्क्रीन, जहां पे एक प्रेजेंटेशन के थ्रू ये क्वेश्चंस आपके साथ शेयर किए जाएंगे और हम इनको फर्दर डिस्कस करेंगे। स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल पार्ट 5 में हम 25 MCQs शेयर करेंगे, जो हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 76 से 100 तक। सो क्वेश्चन 76 कहता है, द थर्मल स्ट्रेस डिपेंड्स अपॉन द क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया ऑफ द बार। ऑप्शन ए ट्रू, ऑप्शन बी फॉल्स। So it's false. It does not depend upon the cross-sectional area of the bar. 77. An overhanging beam must overhang on both sides. Option A is true. Option B is wrong. So yes, the overhanging beam should be hanged at both ends. So right is the correct answer. A is the correct answer for this question. 78. A fixed beam is one which is fixed at dash of its end. Option A, one. Option B, both. So it should be fixed at both ends. So B is the correct answer for this question. 79. A continuous beam is one which is option A, fixed at both ends, B, fixed at one end and free at other end. Option C, supported on more than two supports. Option D, extending beyond these supports. So C is the correct answer for this question. A continuous beam should be supported on more than two supports. 80. A concentrated load is one which is option A, act at a point on a beam. Option B, spreads non-uniformly over the whole length of the beam. Option C, spreads uniformly over the whole length of the beam. Option D, varies uniformly over the whole length of a beam. So 80, a concentrated load is one which is option A, acts at a point on a beam. किसी भी point के ऊपर जो point load होता है उसको concentrated load कहा जाता है. So A is the correct answer. 81, a load which acts at a point on a beam is not called uniformly distributed load. Yes, it's agreed. It does not call the uniformly distributed load. Uniformly distributed load जो है वो over the complete length of the beam होता है, जबकि यहाँ पे point load जो है वो concentrated load होता है. So A here is the correct answer. 82, a uniformly distributed load may be assumed to behave like a point load at the center of the gravity of the load for all sort of calculation. Yes, center of gravity के ऊपर इसको merge करके calculations की जाती है. So A is the correct answer, which is right. 83, a load which is spread over a beam in such a manner that it varies uniformly over the whole length of the beam is called uniformly distributed load or uniformly varying load. So it is called uniformly varying load. So B is the correct answer. The shear force at a point on a beam is the algebraic dash of all forces on either side of the point. shear force के लिए algebraic sum जो होता है forces का किया जाता है एक point के ऊपर हर direction में. So A is the correct answer. The bending moment at a point on a beam is the algebraic dash of all the moments on either side of the beam. It's also sum. So A is the correct answer. 86. The bending moment on a section is maximum where shear force is option A, minimum. Option B, maximum. Option C, changing sign. Option D, zero. Changing sign is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. 87. The shear force at a certain point on a beam changes sign from positive to negative value or vice versa. The bending moment at that point will be zero. Is it true or false? It is false. So B is the correct answer. 88. When a load on a free end of a cantilever beam is increased, failure will occur. Where? Option A, at the free end. Option B, at the fixed end. Option C, in the middle of the beam. Option D, at a distance 2L by 3 from the free end. So the failure will occur at fixed end. B is the correct answer. 89. The bending moment at the free end of a cantilever beam is option A, zero. Option B, maximum. Option C is maximum. So bending moment free end के ऊपर जो है वो zero होती है. A is the correct answer. The bending moment diagram for a cantilever beam loaded with uniformly distributed load will be a parabolic curve. Option A correct. Option B is incorrect. So bending moment diagram जो है uniformly distributed load का cantilever beam के लिए parabolic curve ही होगा. So A is the correct answer. Shear force of a cantilever beam of length L carrying a uniformly distributed load W per unit length is zero at the free end. Yes, it will be zero. So A is the correct answer. The shear force of a cantilever beam of length L carrying uniformly distributed load W per unit length is WL at the fixed end. Shear force WL W into length के बराबर होगा. So A is the correct answer. 93. The shear force diagram of a cantilever beam of length L and carrying a uniformly distributed load W per unit length will be option A, a right angled triangle, option B, an isosceles triangle, option C, an equilateral triangle, option D, a rectangle. Right angled triangle is the correct answer. A is the correct option. 94. The shear force and bending moment are zero at the free end of a cantilever beam if it carries a option A, point load at free end, point load at middle of its length, uniformly distributed load over the whole length, and option D, none of the above. So shear force और bending moment तब zero होगी जब इसके ऊपर load uniformly distributed होगा over the complete length. So C is the correct answer for this question. 95. The maximum bending moment of a cantilever beam of length L and carrying a uniformly distributed load of W per unit length lies at the middle of its length. Option A is true, option B is false. So this is false. Maximum bending moment जो है cantilever beam जिसकी length L हो और load W per unit length हो lies at the middle. ये false है. 96. The bending moment at the end of a simply supported beam will be zero. Option A is yes, option B is no. Yes. 97. The shear force diagram of a cantilever beam of length L carrying a gradually varying load from 0 at free end and W per unit length at the fixed end is a option A, horizontal line, horizontal straight line A, vertical straight line, inclined line, option D, parabolic curve. So it will be a parabolic curve. So D is the correct answer. 98. The bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam loaded in its center is option A, a right angled triangle, option B, an isosceles triangle, option C, an equilateral triangle, option D, rectangle. Bending moment diagram of a simply supported beam loaded at its center is the isosceles triangle. B is the correct answer. 99. The maximum bending moment for simply supported beam with central point load lies at the point of loading. Option A, true. Option B is false. So maximum bending moment for a simply supported beam with central point load lies at the point of loading. जिस point के ऊपर load apply हो रहा है वहां पे maximum bending moment होगा simply supported beam का. So A is the correct answer for this question, which is true. 100. The shear force of a simply supported beam carrying a central point load changes sign at its midpoint. A is correct, B is incorrect. So yes, shear force जो है वो sign midpoint के ऊपर sign change करती है. So A is the correct answer for this question, which is correct. So friends, ये था हमारा आज का लेक्चर जिसमें हमने 25 multiple choice questions from question number 76 to 100 आपके साथ डिस्कस किए. आई होप आपने अपनी लर्निंग डेवलप की होगी और स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल के ऊपर अब तक आपको काफी ज्यादा अबूर हासिल हो गया है. सो नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हमारे साथ रहिए. हम फर्दर 25 क्वेश्चंस आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे. इस वीडियो सीरीज में टोटल हमने 300 क्वेश्चंस आपके लिए शॉर्ट लिस्ट किए हैं जिसमें से अभी तक 100 क्वेश्चन आपके साथ हम शेयर कर चुके हैं. हमारी पिछली वीडियोस को भी देखिए, इसमें कंसेप्चुअल वीडियोस भी अवेलेबल हैं और पेपर रूल्स के बारे में भी डिटेल्ड वीडियोस CivTech सिंप्लीफाइड के ऊपर अवेलेबल हैं. सो मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में जहां पे हम फर्दर 25 क्वेश्चंस आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे. सो तब तक के लिए अपना ख्याल रखें, वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और चैनल को जरूर सब्सक्राइब करें. थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड हैव अ गुड डे.